Hello guys, welcome to the Teaching and Learning. Today lesson 23, Pedagogy Questions and Answers. Thank you so much for your love, appreciation and subscription. Today in this lesson I'm going to share some more questions and answers, and I will be highlighting what are the important areas that we need to focus in both questions and answers. So let's see what are these questions and how you have to answer. Now first, the question 1, which is related with the Bloom's taxonomy, and this is talking about the learning objectives or learning outcomes. Which of the following teaching objectives needs to be rephrased? So what you have to do, rephrase, or it needs to modify, or it's not appropriate, or it's inappropriate. So this is the fun point we are going to find, and it that what objective needs you. Second thing you can see here that there's an action verbs according to Bloom's taxonomy, or six domains of the Bloom's taxonomy, that which is suitable and which is not suitable for. And every Bloom's taxonomy actions is telling the domain and the level of the learner. Now the first one, the student should recognize. So you can see here it tells about the recognize, right? Recognize the reasons behind catching the flu. So, in this uh, learning outcome, or the action verb of that is recognize. Now, that recognize doesn't mean that you have to do something. Either it's correct or right or wrong, or you have to just uh, make your perspective on mind. So there's no any appropriate action which tells the level of the students, or some students they have to make the actions. Okay, so is it suitable to recognize the reason behind? Okay, according to the student's level or the learning style, can we make that student has to recognize in the classroom? You have to think about it. Second thing, the student should determine, they have to do something, okay, determine the three basic features which are common among fluids. This makes sense. The student should record, they have to, it's very clear what they have to do, they have to record all their observations, very clear. The student should compare, okay, a desert climate and a temperature, is very clear. So according to this, the student should recognize the reason behind the catching flu. This needs to modify because recognize is not suitable. Student has a different learning style in the classroom, and that is the it represents generally that there's no action what they have to do. They have to just recognize. So it needs modification. It needs to rephrase it. Okay. Let's move to the second one. Second question is about the brainstorming techniques. A teacher used a brainstorming techniques to train students to find a solution to a problem. So what the teacher has to do? Use the technique, okay, of the brainstorming that the students can find the solution. Related to the lesson topic. At the beginning of the class, the teacher presented the problem and asked the student. So teacher already presented, okay. Now what he is, the student has to do, list student suggestions on the board so that they can collaboratively solve the problem. Okay. So what they are providing a suggestion, you have to list onto the board that they can easily find the solution. Now question is that a group of list student suggestion. A group of students made unusual suggestions to solve the problem. What should the teacher do in this situation? First, there's a problem. Teacher has to brainstorm. Third, student lists the suggestion. Teacher has to write on the board, and the students will be using these suggestions in order to the, give solution. Okay. So, what should the teacher do in this situation? We have to find out the teacher. Okay, teacher's action. Let's see. Rephrase the problem for the students whenever they come up with the unusual problem. Now, student has to make the suggestion. So, Why they have to rephrase the problem. If you are going to rephrase the problem, do you think it's a solution? Of course not. So it has a it doesn't make sense. Remove this option from them. The second, remind the students who have presented their unusual ideas. Remind the students. So teacher, why teacher has to remind the student? It's already been asked, okay, that they have to provide the solution. So why teacher has to remind the solution? It's not even it's relevant. So these two answers are very clear. They doesn't make sense to stick the ideas directly or connected. Accept the unusual ideas and list them to encourage students to give more ideas. This is the answer, that whatever ideas students gives you, teacher has to accept. Teacher should not tell them that you have to rephrase the problem and we'll make you the solution. Don't remind them that you have to present the unusual. Okay, let them to do whatever suggestions they are providing. Okay, you have to accept, because you have already told them, give them instruction what you have to do. Now you have to accept every response from the students, okay, and encourage them to give the more ideas for that. This is the teacher's responsibility. Be careful not to list the unusual ideas. So the why and if, how we can expect the students, all the students will give you the correct answer or correct solution to the problem. Okay, of course it's not. You will be getting all the type of the solutions. Okay, unusual, usual, problem related, connection. Okay, but make all the answers either correct or not. You have to welcome all these answers and encourage to give you more ideas to find the solution easily. So C is the correct answer. So look how these answers are relevant to the question. So when you check these ones, make sure they make sense or not. If they make sense, you can consider it. If not, just remove it. Third and last one, which of the following question is most appropriate? Now we are finding most appropriate to develop student skills, analysis and production. Most appropriate about two things, analysis and production. A child started to take care of a pet fish at home. The child provided adequate water and food and distributed some adequate plant inside the bowl. A few days later, they were shocked by the death of all fish. In your opinion, what caused the fish to die? Question says most appropriate to develop student skill, analyze and production. Where's the analysis? Is there any production? Of course not. So this is not appropriate answer. So this is the kind of the story which is telling, okay, that what happened, what caused the fish to die, doesn't make sense. What are the applications for artificial intelligence in 2040? Question asking intelligence. Okay. Make a list of the most important applications. So here the question is asking about make a list of that, So that will be the possible solution or possible something, but there is no analysis for intelligence. In your opinion, which of these application is most important? Opinion is not an analysis; it's a perspective. Opinion is not the prediction. Okay, it's a perspective. So be careful about that. If you were the main character of the story you have read, how would your character help to develop the story? Where's the production? Is there any production or analysis in this? So production, something that you are what we call kind of something abstract, something your idea of something about that. Okay, so you can see here the D. Imagine that a population of the way increased to 5 million people. Okay, now this is the one. Okay, this is it together. Imagine is the production, that a population of the way increased to 5 million. Okay, this is the production. What problem would occur? This needs analysis. List the problem, analysis, classify them, analysis, and provide the solution. So we're going to combine problems, listing problem, classify them, and give them solution. This is the analysis. So imagine, okay, the population and what will, how much it will increase, what will be the problem, classify, that will be the solution. So see, question answer is very clear, and it's give you the prediction and analysis. So you have to read answers carefully before choosing the answers. So don't rush, don't read it don't rush, don't make the judgment based on the action verbs and all these things. You have to think and then consider the action verbs. So if there's any relevance or connection between the uh, question and answers, then you can think about it. But if they are their actions doesn't have any connection, the Bloom's taxonomy has a no connection with the questions. That means these answers are the wrong. So I'll suggest to you, before answering the questions, make sure these action verbs are telling you or making sense or has any relevancy to the questions. Then you can answer that question. Thank you so much. We'll be meeting in the next lesson. Stay blessed and stay safe.